Hello, testing. I think I can hear myself. Hey, what's going on, man? How are you? Can you hear me?
Mano, yes, I can. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, man? How's your day been?
Doing good. It's top of the morning here in California,
Yeah, it's 10 a.m., right?
10 a.m.
Yeah, nice. So, have you got the day off work today, or?
I actually I took off today.
Oh, good on you, man. Have you got any plans for the rest of the day, or?
So I'm going to visit my parents at the cemetery. If I went to work, I wouldn't have made this call, so I figured I'll just call it off anyways. And then yeah, I'm going to visit my parents at the cemetery. Visit some family members. I haven't done that in a while, so that's my plan for today.
Nice, man. Sounds like a wholesome day planned ahead for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, nice. Well, I guess I won't hold you for too long. You've got other business to attend, so
No,
we'll
no,
jump
no, no,
straight into
no.
it, man.
Hmm.
I mean, so I guess we were just speaking on the phone then. Obviously, you're working at the moment for the federal government. That's
Yes.
part-time, and then another job part-time. Is that right?
No, I work for the federal government full time. That's my 9 to 5. And then I teach part time. I teach 2 classes at UCLA at the uni here.
Oh, that's even more than I thought. So yeah, you're even more stretched for time than I thought.
Yeah. In fact, one of the classes is an evening class. But that's tonight. That's at 6:30 our time.
Gee, it's a lot. I mean, is this because you love doing it?
Well, the full-time job it's because it pays the bills. The part-time job teaching, that's because I love doing it. It's always been a passion. Before getting into the corporate sector, I taught elementary and middle school. Um, and one thing led to another. That didn't pay the bills. It was really hard to maintain. So that's what got me into the public sector.
Fair enough, man. So your background then, I guess, is this something that you always thought you were going to go into, or?
Uh, Working for the government.
Yeah, I guess both as well. I guess we'll sort of talk about working for the
Well,
government at the moment.
my
That's your full-time
my
job.
I'm a civics major, so political science was my major in school. That was
Mm.
my concentration. So, I actually got into it because I wanted to do community work. I saw that policy was a big impact to our disparaged communities here. Being where, I mean, I Are you in New Zealand or Australia?
I'm actually in England, but I have been living in
Oh,
Australia for
oh,
the
you're
last
in
12
England.
months. Yeah, man.
Well, uh, being an islander here in California, let alone the United States, growing up from the islands, from our humble beginnings back home, I came here to the States, and it really impacted me in a lot of ways. I came to school here with textbooks that didn't even have my island in the maps, so the whole country was going to school, learning about people that looked like me that didn't exist. And so that impacted me in a lot of ways, which got me into civic government. So yeah, I guess I didn't think I was going to work an office job in bureaucracy. I wanted to make a change in public policy, but you know, this teaching gig was a godsend. I had an old friend who's a dean at the UCLA uni, and he said, "Hey, there's an opening part time. Would you like it?" And I hopped on it only because I thought real change can be done in the classroom, informing and educating, the
Sure,
future
yeah.
generations. But no, I didn't think I was going to be part of the bureaucracy system of the government. I thought I was going to be part of policy changing in the government. But I guess that wasn't in the cards for me at the time.
Mm, yeah. So really, man, this is like a thing that's been a part of you to take this sort of path. for a very long
Yeah.
time.
Well, in my previous discussion, I I really, if I really wanted to follow my passion, I'd have to be stable and have financial freedom. And when I was seeing a lot of the testimonials, and followed some of them on social media platforms on Instagram, and I saw that they were doing amazing things. I saw one brother who is part of ABC who was, blessing the lives of others, randomly on social media, and I go, wow. I would love to do that. I would love to have the freedom and the capacity to by choice, you know, um, be good for the community.
Hmm. Tavita, by any chance?
What happened?
Is that Tavita, the guy that you're on about, who's like
Yes.
blessing? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Just watched his stories today. He was in the cookie
Yeah.
place. I can't remember what it's called, but that's such an amazing thing. I thought,
Yeah. He,
wow.
he went to a random fella who was with his son and gave him, blessed his life, and he was able to bless his son's life. And I was like, wow, that was awesome.
Hmm. No, it really is like a sort of gift or inspiring to be able to see people do that and people like amongst
Uh,
ABC.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, there are many opportunities to do that now for me. But those opportunities are not they're not by choice. They usually just roll on my lap when they can. But it would be nice to be for the community and for my family. Absolutely. Like I said, I come from Samoa. I was born in a hut and graduated high school, and my parents shipped me out here and told me to find a future to help the family. So I came to school here. I graduated when I was 16. I did everything by the book, and 16, I came here as a minor in a university climate, and so all my classmates were all adults, and I couldn't do adult things, so I kind of had to grow up really fast, learn this new language. English is my second language, um, and followed that book. Go to school, get a degree, continue school, get another degree, get a good career, and just find a career that would help you bring your family over and take care of the family. I come from a siblinghood of 16. Well, anyways, I've been doing everything by the book, and I mean, yeah, it's fulfilling at times, but there's still some restrictions, right? And the whole societal norm, and just the feeling that's been going through my head. I I think I'm a good person. I try and be in good standing, and I have been doing everything by the book. I need to make it rain. I need to make it rain. And so I'm not saying I'm trying to look for illegal routes to do that. No, I'm trying to look for smarter and better routes to do that.
Oh, smarter, not harder, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm. So for you, man, I guess you've been, I guess, kind of sent on this path by the sound of it. Like you're given this purpose. You've got to go out there, do what's right for your family, and really sort of set yourself up for a good future.
Well, Islanders, the roadmap to success is come here, go to school, get that degree, and just get a good job to put a roof over your head. It's like that is the cap of success for a lot of us Islanders who migrate into the diaspora, who come into
Mm.
this new environment and leave home back in paradise and come whether
Yeah.
it's America or New Zealand or Australia. It's like that's our roadmap. And I'm the first to ever go to college in my family. Um, and so it was one of those, I felt like I had no choice but to follow this roadmap because there was a lot of pressure. But now that all of my siblings are all grown, they all have their own families. I was the one who always took care of my parents, and I did so until. So my grandparents are actually the ones who took care of me, but I call them my parents. Those are the ones who I'm visiting at the cemetery today. And so now that they are on greener pastures and in a better life, yonder on the other side, um, again, now that my parents are not here, even more so, I've been thinking, okay, well, my purpose in life was to take care of my parents, and now that they're gone, my siblings are all set. What does Moni want to do? And I've been self-reflecting a lot lately on just my own personal goals.
Yeah, well, just trying to take it all in. It's like quite nice to hear this. It's like a good story. We've got to make sure that the ending's good though. I mean, we've got to get to the climax.
Amen.
So all of this self-reflection that you've been doing recently, it's great. It's great to realize, okay, maybe I should start doing some things for myself. But
Yeah, I
what?
I I created an LLC. I mean, I've been even trying to think entrepreneurial. I was like, what I go home every 3 to 4 months to Samoa because I serve as a Matai. Matai is a chief. And so, as a chief, there's families who live on our land. We have land issues and land, situations. There's families to take care of that live on the land. And so I have to go back every 3 to 4 months to Samoa for village and district affairs. And so I'm going back and I'm like, okay, what can I do? Can I create a business? Can I, create a nonprofit, which I done here. I, I co-founded 3 nonprofit organizations here in California. I sit on the board of two and I'm a director of one. And so I went back home to Samoa. Is the nonprofit route a good route to take? What needs does the country have? Is there a rehab facility? Is there an after school program that I can start? Or even a business that I can think of, like housing, car rental. And so I've been having these thoughts, for the last year or so, and you know, I and I thought just to put something out there to get me started, that push that you were talking about earlier, half an hour ago. And then I stumbled upon this video and I go, "Oh, why not? Why not? Why not inquire?" And here we are.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, it's been going on. Like you've been kind of thinking about things, doing this self-reflection for like the last year.
Yeah, it's not like I just saw the video and said, "Oh, I want to do this." No, I've been sitting here cooking in my head and trying to put the blocks down for a certain street I can walk on. But you know, I took a chance and I inquired and you know I figured, why not? Why not explore and see if this is an avenue, like you said in your video that you sent earlier this morning, if this is for me, and that's why I'm sitting here.
Mm,
I'm looking at all the testimonials, and it's really empowering and refreshing to see.
mm. Also, like I've worked in Sydney, very multicultural area there, and I work with like a lot of Polynesian guys, Pacific Islanders, like yourself, and I also speak to a lot of guys as well. There's plenty of Polynesian guys and girls in ABC. I'm not sure if you've seen all the testimonials, but there's a lot because we've got a market in well New Zealand and also Australia. So this is where the content's going and it's reaching people. And you've got people like Nelson Tavita really putting a name out for Polynesian people, man. It's great to see.
Yeah. The Polynesian community here in California, I mean, I don't want to sound like a statistics, but that's what happens when you work for the federal government. According to the census in 2020, Samoans alone, there's over 250,000 here in California alone. That's 5 times the population of our island home back in the South Pacific. But if you expand it more in the Pacific Islander to other islands, other diaspora, we're about almost a million here in California. California is only one state of 50 in the country. And so, yeah, there's a lot of community that can be reached out here. But I'm not saying that's the only demographic I'd like to reach out to. I'm just saying that I'm just one of many here. But it was refreshing to see Tevita and others who had their testimonies. Um,
Mm. Yeah, no, it's great to see. And these guys as well are like practicing and learning together as well, like really coming together.
yeah.
Obviously, you've got like coaching and training and everything, and these guys are doing it on their own together.
Yeah. And you know, I guess one of the misperceptions about being in academia and being in being educated and whatnot, this false perception is that we're not easy to teach. We're not humble enough to absorb. But humility is a big part of the culture that I am a part of. And
I'd
I'm
say the
willing.
complete
I'm willing to
opposite.
learn. I'm willing to be absorbent. I'm willing to absorb whatever knowledge comes my way. I'm willing to follow a path by those who already have taken it. Uh, Again, I'm good at following the roadmap. That's something I've been doing my whole life. And so, like I said, I've been good for a long time in following this certain pathway that was set out for me. I just need to make it rain because I really, really want to bless my family. And true freedom, right? True freedom. Yeah, we came here, got educated, we have a home, but I don't want to work for the rest of my life and then enjoy it, especially at the end of my life. And in my community, we're not looking too good. Everyone's dropping like flies. A lot of our people are dying younger. I have 16 siblings. We're down to 12. So my siblings, some of them didn't even make it to 30 and 40. And I don't want that to
Sorry
be
to
me.
hear. Mm. Even for like in New Zealand and Australia, I know a lot of the guys' background is like warehousing or getting into construction, and that's from what I hear, all you guys are kind of told is like go out, get yourself a job, work hard. I mean, for you
Get
though,
whatever
man,
job pays the bills. Yeah. Mhm.
obviously you went down the academia route, which seems to be like a little bit against the norm. So has that really sort of got you to where you thought it would get you though?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It exceeded my expectations. Like I said, the romantic, our success cap here for many Islander families is you graduate high school, perfect. Get a job. That's all I care about. As long as you're bringing in income to put a roof over our heads and to turn the lights on at night. And that was it. Um, when you're one of 16 siblings, it. I'm just grateful. I have older siblings who didn't have the luxury of choosing whether or not to go to college. They had to choose between excelling in higher education or getting a job to put a roof over our heads. And so they had to choose to put a roof over our heads. They had no choice. Um, I'm 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 six of 16, and so I'm grateful that my parents saw potential. Again, I graduated when I was barely 16, and so they saw, oh, maybe this son of ours should go out and pursue his academics because he's really, really good at math, science, and history. And so, again, being obedient to my parents, um, I left the comfort of paradise and came here to America. Um, and as scary as that journey was, making it alone, but I am grateful. And yes, I did. I do feel that I have fulfilled the expectations of my parents. Um, but just because you fulfilled a milestone doesn't mean you fulfilled, a happy life. I being
What's the next
exposed to the
milestone?
world here, yeah, being exposed to the world here and others in my work life and home life and social life, I realized, man, there's so much more to than just this. And again, when you have 2 hours of traffic at 4:30 in the morning to get to work by 7:30, and then you have 2 hours of traffic at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. in the evening, and you get home by, 7, 8 o'clock. That's a lot of time to think. And that's all I do is think on the road to and fro between here and work. And again, it's been cooking in my head to do something. Um,
Yeah. So yeah, these 20 hours a week of driving, man, that's a long time to really
Man,
think
tell
about
me
what you're
about
doing.
it. No joke, man.
So what kind of things have you been cooking up in your head then? Like, obviously you started up a couple businesses, but what else have you been thinking?
Uh, Family. I'm thinking about my parents a lot. My siblings. Uh, specifically my younger siblings. The youngest of all of us is just graduated high school. She's 19 now. She lived with me. I practically raised my younger sister. She's in the Navy now. And again, even that, and this is one of the things I think about. My sister's decision to join the military was an economical one. You know, yeah, we love our country and we want to serve our country, and the she understood what was required of her. Uh, there's three wars burgeoning around the world, and she's going to be deployed in 2 months, and so it was that, but it was an economical decision. Uh, Military pays free health care and good money and good educational benefits. So it was the benefits that said, "Oh, you know what? I want to join the military." And I told her, if this is something you really, really want to do, um, go for it. And she did. She did. That was her career path. But it's just that. It's like we're making decisions based on economics, right? We're making decisions based on necessity. And we've been doing that our whole lives, my entire family. And I'm tired of making decisions based on necessity and based on economics. I want to make decisions based on what makes me happy, working towards a dream.
Mm, mm. No, I feel you, man. I feel you. Doing things that really sort of fulfill you instead of just going to work for someone else.
Yeah,
Next day,
I'd rather
next day, next
I
day.
I look at these testimonials and they put in the work and time for a few months and they reap the rewards right then and there. The roadmap I was given was you put in the work for 40 years and you reap the rewards when you're 60, 80. No, I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, I guess like these hours that you have been spending driving and thinking about what you are actually doing, has this been things
Hmm.
you've been thinking for the last year, did you say?
Yeah, over a year now. Um, you know, when you have 4 hours to yourself on a road, you can't help but just reflect on a plethora of things. Life, your spiritual side, your mental health, your psychological state. So, I I can write a whole book, but in terms of this call, and making that forward step into a better financial stable life, I think that could be a good start for me.
Mm. It's just like driving along and thinking about these things, though. I mean, has that really done anything, or have you started taking action steps towards this?
Action step towards my thoughts.
Yeah, because I guess it's great to think
Yeah,
about things, but we need to actually put it
yeah.
into action and do things.
Well, again, going back to the roadmap that was given, and this is a roadmap for many of us, the generational thing. Um, I went to school, I have a master's degree. I'm teaching at a university. I work for the federal government. That pays the bills and gives me good benefits. Um, these are things that I guess a lot of people from my community would be like, you know what, you're living the dream. And I get that all the time. My own people is like, man, Moni, you're living the dream. And I was like, really though? Am I? So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not like I haven't gone to school and I haven't gotten a degree. I don't have a career. I'm not sitting on my ass and saying, I wish I can go to school. I wish I can get a job. No, I did go to school and I did get a career. But is that all? And now that I've achieved those things, uh, um, it's it only makes sense. Like now where do you go from here? And
Mm,
it
of
was that
course.
within the last year that I was thinking, well, there must be more to, and I guess after reaching these milestones that I was able to really reflect on on the small things like really is driving through traffic 4 hours a day, is that what I want to do with those 4 hours when I can be more productive and doing other things?
Is it?
or doing things that I enjoy. Is really stressing out and doing reports and conference. Like my job is taking me to Europe. I have been because of my job. I'm going to Italy, November 8th. In the last 3 years, I visited 25 countries, not to
Oh,
vacation, and that is the irony. It's like you go to these countries. I've been to Dubai, I've been to South Korea, to Seoul and Itaewon. I've been to South Africa, Cape Town. I've been to Dublin and Amsterdam and the UK, the United Kingdom, and Scotland, Edinburgh. I've been to all these places, Japan. But I didn't get to enjoy it. It's all work. And most of my job is airports and conferences and then back to airports and back to the 4 hours a day of traffic. And so it's like, oh, there's more to this. There has to be more to this. I would love to go to Italy, hop on a cruise and enjoy Italy. But it was go to Italy one day, do a meeting, and come back. It was like, great, great. And I live in California. So I'm flying from Europe to DC, from DC to Texas, Texas to another state in Illinois, and from Illinois to LA. That was my airport life. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, Moni, man, you get to travel to Europe. I'm like, yeah, it sounds great, but it's not all great. So that's what
mm,
I mean, Mr. Lewis. Like,
yeah.
when I'm asked, well, you've been thinking about it for a year, what steps have you been taking? It's not that I've done nothing with my life. I've done a lot. And to a normal person, that's enough. But to me, it is not.
Mm. No, that's like really good to hear. Though you're very well traveled. That's a lot of places you visited. It sucks that
The
you
best
haven't been able to
education in the
explore.
world, but I didn't get to enjoy it.
But yeah, well, like yeah, the experience you've had through life. I mean, how old are you now?
So I'm 38 now.
38. I wouldn't even you
Hmm.
look around 30, if that.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you. I don't know. I feel 49.
wow. Well, yeah. I literally thought you were around like my age. I'm 22 myself, and I thought you'd be like mid 20s. So wow, you've really
Thank
sort
you.
of you really have like established yourself. You've accomplished quite a bit now, and it's like right, let's do something else. Let's take another path. Hmm. Yeah. No, that's good. It's good that you've got like these ambitions to. I guess do you want to revisit all these countries you've seen but not explored?
Absolutely. I would love to revisit these countries. I mean, I went to Dubai and they're like, "Oh, did you go to Abu Dhabi? Did you go?" I was like, "No, no. It was only for a 3 hour meeting on my way to Amsterdam, and Amsterdam was only a 1 day thing, and then I had to turn back around." And that's the thing about working for the federal government and being part of bureaucracy. And like I said, the reality was, yes, I've been to these countries, and it was mostly airports, mostly airports. Yeah, I would love to enjoy them. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, how does that kind of make you feel though, that you're visiting these places just for work and you're kind of trapped?
a joke. It's teasing, really. It's teasing. Well, now when you're on the upper um, pay scale, of course they get to enjoy it, but not us. I work for the federal government, but that's just the title. Really, I'm just an analyst. And so when I, look at surveys and you look at forecasting and you analyze these data that's coming in, we're just the little ants in the background, right? And so, yeah, when you go to these countries and it's not to enjoy it, but it's really just for work. Um, the irony is that it's like teasing you, like, oh,
It's like
you get to go to Mulan, but you have to come right back the next day. I'm like, okay, thanks, appreciate it.
it's like being given an ice cream, but you've got to try and eat it with the wrapper on. You're not
Yeah, I
getting the
mean,
full
I mean,
thing.
yeah, yeah, you get leisure time, you get to hang out with your workmates at a bar somewhere, but that's it. That's basically and I don't drink, so, you know, Imagine that. It's like all your coworkers are out in the bars and clubs, and it's like, okay, I'm just a designated driver, and so you really don't enjoy it. I'd rather go sightseeing and go to the beaches and the museums and the historical, places. But I didn't get to enjoy that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is something that's been teasing you for quite some time now. You said it's 4 years you've been at this job, right?
Yes, sir. Hmm.
So yeah, well, 4 years of being teased around and shown these places, but not the full thing. I mean,
Yeah, and
it's
again, like to a normal person in our community, that's great. Now do that for the rest of your life, but I don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
hmm. I mean, what does life look like for you if you carry on doing this though, and that is your life?
Well, community. I would love to give back to community. I would love to go back home to Samoa and help improve our way of life, education, schools. I would love to secure my family, my siblings. I don't have children. I'm the only one that does not have children. But I have 34 nieces and nephews, and I am the favorite uncle. I would like to secure their future.
Wow. So yeah, that's a big sort of responsibility to live up to, and if you really
I
want to
was I
provide
was
for
I
them,
was the brother. I was the brother Lewis that was supposed to come here, get a job, and secure a home, and be that pathway for all of my siblings to come here. And that was my life. Literally, my parents said, you go to school, get an education, get a job, and get a house, and then all your brothers and sisters will come to America and live with you and get a job and follow that same blueprint. And but I was the sibling to do it. Hence why everyone has kids and I don't, because I was the one since I was a little kid destined to be the one to bring everyone here.
mm,
And now that my parents are gone, we just buried them recently. Now that
sorry for the loss.
they were my life. Everything I did was to take care of them. I'm not regretting a single minute of it because everything I am is because of them. And I owe everything to them. But now that they are in a better place, again, within the last year, I have been reflecting on what does Moni want. Uh,
Wow. Mm. If I was to calculate how many days or how many weeks, that's like 20 hours a week over, let's say, 50 weeks or whatever. I'm not sure how often you get time off, but do the math. That's a lot of
uh,
time to think about stuff.
Tell me about it.
So,
Tell me
man,
about it.
this is something then that's really important to you by the sounds of it.
It is. It is. Again, I'm ready. When I come back from Europe, and it's only, get this, it's only a 4 day trip, right? And 2 of those days is traveling. So the other 2 days is just really working in meetings. But when I come back, I'm planning on going back to Samoa. Um, so I have to go. It was already a planned trip. And going back to Samoa was really I'm rebuilding our family home, by the way. So looking at the contractors and bring them over from Upolu and having them, doing their paperwork. That's why I'm going back to Samoa. But also looking around to see what can I do. I is there again, like I said, I just created an LLC because that's what people are doing these days. But I just needed something as a potential leeway to start a business. And again, going back to Samoa was the plan of getting the contractor, starting the rebuilding of our family home, and looking at potential opportunities to be my own boss. If not, because I'm planning on going back home, Louis. I want to go, and again, this is a big step for me because that's my dream is to move back home to my motherland. That has always been home to me.
Mm.
Um, And I would love to make that dream possible. So I was already planning on leaving this job. Again, my parents are gone. They were
Yeah.
my life for all my life. Those 2 hours of traffic for the last 4 years. First 3 years of those years were thinking of how can I take care of them and make them good and make sure that they are here for as long as possible. Now that they're gone, it's what does Moni want and how can I fulfill the dream? One of those dreams is to go back home and
Mm.
to move back to paradise. And
Mm.
so I've already taken steps. I've met with the dean of the Oni College there, the community college there, and she told me, "You come here, you have a job, so I'll be teaching. That's something that's a secured pathway for me." Um, I met with the lieutenant governor of American Samoa because my grandparents, they were also government officials in their prime. My grandfather was a senator back home. So I met with the lieutenant governor, and that was another. He was like, "Look, we would love you in our administration. There's a lot of jobs here you can do it because they know that I come with experience here. So it's not like I'm just going there as a lame duck. I have really been planning and, you know, putting my ducks in order to make sure that I just come and start rolling. But again, do I want to leave one government job to work at another government job? I don't know. I don't think that's but it is there. The opportunity's there. Do I want to seize it? I don't think so. So yeah, I know that was a lot and was a lot to. Sorry, I'm blabbering, but yes.
No, it's absolutely fine, man. I'm actually really interested. I'm not gonna lie, like listening to this story, like I find this very interesting.
Well, Mr. Lewis, I don't want you to think I'm just a lame duck. Like I've been trying very hard to put my ducks in order, trying to create a path to where I'm just, there's that saying, the worst place to be is the same place you were last year. I don't want to be in the same place I was last year.
That's a bar.
I want to move. I want to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Just so I can sort of wrap my head around and put a time frame on things here. You're preparing to leave your job. When are you leaving?
hmm
Like, what's the sort of plan here?
it won't be for like maybe another year. So, the building of the house. But this is what I mean. I'm not going back home and talking to the dean of the college saying I'm gonna make a move in 2 months. No, I'm like, look, I'm gonna make a move. I'm coming more often, but I would like to maybe officially move here in about a year. And I'm thinking ahead, way ahead. I'm trying to lay things in order. And again, this goes back to 4 hours of self-reflecting every day for 52 weeks, right? But yeah,
So your plan then is to permanently leave America, Los Angeles?
well, American in Los Angeles, yes. So American Samoa is part of America. We're U.S. territory,
Oh, really?
um, and so I'm not leaving the country. I'm just leaving to another part of the country. I'm leaving back home.
Learn something new every day.
So So Samoa is two states because of colonialism. The islands are split into two different governments. The United States took over in 1900, and Germany took over in 1900 of the Western Islands. During World War II, they lost all of their assets. It was given to New Zealand, and after World War II, the United Nations was created, giving a pathway to any colony for self-governance. And so in 1962, Western Samoa, that used to be colonized by Germany and New Zealand, became an independent state. But the Eastern Islands, American Samoa, still retained sovereignty under the US. And from 1900 all the way into 2024, we're still part of the US.
Oh, didn't know that. Very interesting. I thought maybe it had some connections with New Zealand, but I thought it was like its own country, to be fair, like the Pacific Islands. I
Yeah,
don't know much about them.
yeah. So the Western Islands of Samoa was connected to New Zealand, but they are independent. But the Eastern Islands is still a U.S. national territory, aka colony. But we share the same culture. We're still all related, the same kin, the same language. Everything's the same. The only thing that's different is our political governments.
Yeah. Some imaginary pieces of boundary lines and rules.
Oh, don't get me started, Louis.
You know all about them, those imaginary lines
Uh,
and yeah.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, okay. So you're planning on going back home in about a year's time. And at the moment, have you got your
And
family home being rebuilt right now?
so our family's built. The home is built, but right now I broke it all down because I'm making it two-story. So right now, what's left is the foundation. And so I already had zoning and all that. Now I just need to find a contractor, which I will find from Western Samoa, the other side. That's the independent side of Samoa, because I trust them. I've seen their work. I have family on the other side. I go to Western Samoa all the time. And so I'm going to find me a contractor to bring them over to American Samoa to facilitate the building of the home, rebuilding of the home.
So yeah, this is something then that you've already invested in, or you're looking at buying or
Oh
investing
yeah,
in contractors, putting the
no,
money
no.
in.
I My money's already put in. I've saved up. I've saved up to rebuild the family home. That was my grandparents' dream. Um,
Oh wow.
that was this is the last thing. I wasn't able to do it while they were alive, but this is the one thing I promised them I would do, and that's what I'm doing.
Mm, yeah. This is a very, very important thing to you. I mean, it's great to hear from somebody who's actually been there, done it. You've accomplished yourself. You've done all these things, and now you're sort of carrying on their legacy.
Yeah, and this home will not just be for me. It's for our children and our children's children. I want to build a home. This home has lasted, way before our generation. And it was time to break it down, and now it's time to rebuild it. And I want to build a home that's sustainable for many, many years to come. Our family's bigger, so it's going to be a bigger home on our estate. So, being the chief of our family, we are stewards of land, and we sit on 120 acres. And up in the mountains in Mapusanga, that's also another private estate, and that is specifically designated for our family to live on. And we're the only ones who live on the top of the mountain. Um, and so that house is going to be big enough to house a lot of us. That's the goal. That's the goal.
I'm just trying to sort of visualize that in my head. I've never been to any of the Pacific Islands, and I really want to, and I really want to experience the culture. And I'm just trying to imagine it.
Oh,
Sounds awesome.
well, there's always a place for you in my house, Louis.
Wow. I might have to take you up on that offer one day. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in around about a year's time, you'd like to see
Mhm.
yourself back in Samoa, living, working there.
Yeah, I mean, I know remote working is also a possibility here, watching all of the testimonials. That's also a really big factor. Um, and we have everything we need for remote work back home. We have a very fast internet connection. We have a 5G network back home. I could do anything here remotely. I can do that.
Exactly. Exactly. I guess my next sort of question, I guess, is when you arrive there, you mentioned this a moment ago. Do you go
Mhm.
and do teaching and carry on doing the same thing? Sort of live
Now,
in a
before this conversation, um, that was the plan. I wanted to the plan. I needed a backup plan. That's what it was. I'm going back and forth trying to look for opportunities to be an entrepreneur, one, or to start a nonprofit and see what services that can be rendered there. The drug epidemic in Samoa is really bad, and with And that's the reality that we're facing in our tiny islands. Um, and that's just one of many problems that we're facing. But government's so slow and we have no rehab. Now, I co-founded three nonprofit organizations or CBOs here in California. So I was thinking that's one avenue I can go and create another CBO or a nonprofit organization back home in Samoa. And maybe one of the services that we can provide is building a rehab center to fight, to fight the pandemic of drugs. If government's not the answer, then it's definitely the private sector or the nonprofit sector. I don't want to depend on the government. I really believe that the private sector and the nonprofit sector is the way to go. Um, Going to school at the college there and becoming a professor was another backup plan. Like what I mean, Lewis, is I didn't want to go there and just do nothing and wait on trying to build a dream. I wanted to, just in case I have something to fall back on, I can always teach at the college or I can always run a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll be completely honest with you. Like I do this now. Like I work online and everything. About a year ago, I was working in construction. That's by my background. I was a surveyor for 6 years, and I said to my boss that I'd like to go like exploring, traveling in Australia. I'm still employed at that company. I haven't burnt my
nice.
bridges with them yet because I do think it's
Yeah.
good to have that just in case.
And I love teaching, Lewis. If your question was, do I still see myself teaching even if I'm successful in this? Absolutely. 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 Teaching is my passion. I started teaching and I went back to teaching and I hope to continue teaching. I think again, education blessed my life. And if I can make a change in the classroom, to help those dream bigger, um, and do bigger, I would love to be a part of that.
No, and this, I guess, vehicle, learning sales and marketing and working online, you will have that ability to teach, to share your wisdom and knowledge with other people, which is
Yeah.
a great
I,
thing.
I mean, honestly, 4 years ago, would I have preferred teaching than doing working for the government? Yes, but teaching didn't pay the bills. And so I had to get into this. I had to, be part of bureaucracy. But I would love to teach. I would love to teach on my own time, and my own choosing.
Also, as well, I'm not sure from the workshop video, the homework video, the e-learning industry, so learning online, is set to boom to like the industry is set to boom to around $840 billion by 2030.
Hmm.
So the sort of growth there, I mean, maybe this is a possibility in Samoa to provide that education through online resources.
Well, one of the nonprofits that I co-founded is called Lingafa, Leadership and Education through Ngangana in Samoa, meaning language and culture. And one of the biggest programs we have for this nonprofit is online learning. Uh, we teach language and culture, our curriculum online. We have a staff of 8 teachers who are well versed in the language, including myself, and who's well versed in the culture. We created this nonprofit 4 years ago, and since then we had over 3,000 students of Samoans around the world. Because it was online, it made it more accessible. And we realized that there were Samoans in Germany, in Africa, in Asia, who were hungry to learn this language, and they were there maybe because their parents or grandparents are in the military and they were stationed there and they got married, their parents and grandparents married there, or they moved there because of work. Whatever the reason was, we had our people around the world who were hungry for learning the language and culture. Now, we've also helped our nonprofit. Now we have 2 universities that now officially has Samoan language as part of the curriculum and part of the educational catalog that meets the require for graduation. We're in the works of making sure that Samoan language is also taught in our public schools here. So we're expanding, right? And so definitely, Lewis, definitely I see, you know, again, we just now upgraded to 5G in American Samoa and Western Samoa. So our internet's faster. We're part of the Hawaii cable that does the fiber optic network that brings internet to the islands, and we're sharing it with the rest of Pacifica. So yes, education on online learning is actually part of the big plan in many of our island states and also in our public funded nonprofit organizations that also educate. So yes, absolutely. That's something that's been on my radar. And again, if I can have the freedom to work on that while still making an income, that would be amazing.
Mm, mm. That's amazing. Like 3,000 Samoans, and you're actually
3,000
reaching these
people who
people.
identify as Samoans online. You know, if you saw what I saw, I don't mind inviting you to one of our orientation classes where you see Samoans from all across the country, all across the world. This last cohort we had a student from Dubai, another student in the Bahamas, another Samoan living in Cape Town, South Africa, and two in Australia and three in New Zealand, and then the rest across the 50 states. We had a class of 46 students, and they were international. And it's so beautiful when you have students from where they are learning in an environment from people across the globe, all in the same boat, you know, hungry for language and culture.
Yeah. Wow. I actually stayed with a couple, like an older couple actually, from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. And these
Hmm,
guys, they actually went and lived in Samoa for 3 months teaching language.
nice.
And they said it was like just such a wonderful experience.
I really hope you make it to Samoa, Louis. It is a beautiful place. We are very welcoming people.
Making me excited. Maybe that's my next step. Maybe I go there. Maybe I can work over there.
Yeah.
There's some good Wi-Fi. I can pick up my laptop and take
Oh
work with
yeah.
me.
Sometimes I feel the Wi-Fi back home in Samoa is better than here. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, where I live, which is like a rural part of the United Kingdom, a place called Cornwall, all the way down the bottom,
Mm.
like as far away from John O'Groats up in Scotland as you can get, pretty much. And
I've
yeah,
never been to London, but I have been to Edinburgh and I've been to Scotland. That's where
I'm
our
on the opposite
ancestors
end.
from. Mm.
And like the infrastructure down here, like my Wi-Fi is not great, and things like that. It's all a bit slower down here.
Oh
But
wow. Is it raining all the time?
yeah, it is. It's been raining today, raining yesterday, day before that. It's not as tropical as what Samoa would be.
Well, maybe one day I'll make my way there to your part of the world. I've never been.
Some beautiful beaches, very beautiful
You
place.
have
Very
beaches?
yeah, yeah, on like the north and the south.
Well, I'm sorry. You have swimmable beaches? Because I heard it's so cold.
It is
It's
cold.
not warm like ours, but I heard it's really, really cold.
Yeah, it is. It's not warm at all. You have to put a wetsuit on, or in the summer it's
Ooh.
okay. But
Oh,
but yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, wow. I mean, given everything you've said, man, are you kind of thinking that maybe sales and marketing and learning the skills so you can work online would be like the right thing for you?
I mean, again, it was really to explore what the options are. Yes, I can see myself in sales and working online. I mean,
It is.
I feel like I have an okay, mediocre online presence. Um,
I think you come across great.
thank you.
Very,
I
very
hope so.
likable character. Very humble as well.
Mm.
And I do like the way you I like the way you talk, like the way you're telling your story. I like it, and
Oh,
that's a good
thank
thing.
you. And here I am thinking, I hope I'm making sense because I feel like I'm just blabbering.
No, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. So sales and marketing as well. Then like you can see yourself like being in the space, but it's not only just I don't know working on social media or whatever. These
Right.
skills that you're going to learn if you were to join and be a part of ABC, they're skills that you can take with you wherever. Like these are going to be like life skills pretty much, how to communicate with people and really how to talk, how to present yourself. All of these very small things are things that we teach. And you'd be able to take that with you to do whatever you wanted. If you wanted to teach online, if you wanted to help others, those skills you could use. I mean, I
Nice.
think you'd be like a great fit in ABC, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lutz. I appreciate that.
No, it's a pleasure. I mean, would you want to hear like what the sort of game plan is in terms of training?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so for you, have you sort of got any sort of prior experience with sales marketing at all?
Uh, I mean, sales, yes. I used to work at a store as a sales rep. I also, for a time, sold life insurance. Um, as far as marketing, no, I don't have any marketing experience. Um, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's all good, man. I mean, most people walking into this are like complete beginners. And myself included, I walked into this completely blind. No idea. So I was like taught all the basics and sort of worked my way up and that's really what we're training. So is this the first thing as well that you've kind of looked at online or have you tried other things before?
No, I actually, I followed another, I actually followed another ABC person. He's also Islander. Um,
That's
can't think of his name at the moment on a whim, but um, is this the first? Have I been interested in something like this before? I have, but I've never reached out like I did this time. I never inquired like I did this time. This is the first time for me.
yeah. I mean, what kind of changed for you then to actually make you want to reach out now, not a couple of years ago?
Uh, not a year ago. I don't know. Like I said, 3 years of the last 4 years was just focused on my parents' well-being and sustaining their life. Um, but it's not until the last past year where I finally started to, you know, self-reflect. A lot of people, they've been doing this for years, just self-reflecting. I've only just really done it for a year. Um, and so part of me was like, well, maybe I'm a little early, but apparently I'm not. Um, but it was really Tevita's video. Um, I don't really, to be honest, when I see stuff like that, I scroll. I just keep scrolling. Um, but then I didn't scroll this time, and I'm glad I didn't. I was just really, for some reason, I don't know, being an islander also, be doing this. I mean, granted, a lot of these platforms, it's always people that do not look like me, but it was really nice and refreshing to see Tevita, and I was like, oh, ooh, okay, alrighty, there's someone of the culture who's doing this, and I guess that's another thing that sparked my interest.
Mm, yeah. So would you say then, obviously, your parents passing and the circumstance you're in now kind of feels like it's the right time for you to actually have reached out?
Like I said before, um, I finally, within the last year, was reflecting on what does Moni want?
Yeah.
Uh, what does Moni want? It was always my whole life since birth was serving others, serving my elders, serving my parents, serving my family. And it still is, as a Matai, as a chief back home, it still is serving family. But now that my parents are gone, that left some room. It it left a vacuum, right? It left a vacuum of, okay, now what do I do with this space? Because I don't have my parents here anymore. And that happens with everyone who loses their parents. You have this void. So the time and effort that went towards my parents, I could have taken that time and effort and put it towards something else, but I was like, you know what? I want to put it towards myself. It's not like I'm throwing my family away. I'm still doing that. I'm still serving the family, but now I have time for myself. Now that my parents are gone, uh, it's a cultural thing too, Lewis. You know, taking care of your parents. Um, that's the epitome. I mean, you don't see any islanders in senior living homes. That's not a thing for us. We always take care of our own. Um, and that was me. It was always working, coming home, making meals, making sure their meds are good, taking them to all of their appointments, you know, and most of my sick leave days and vacation days were all used because of my parents' appointment days and because of them. I used it on them. I didn't use it on myself. And so this year was the first time I was like, I got vacation days that I can use for myself. I'm like, where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna, so this is like the first time I'm using vacation days for myself.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess everything's sort of fallen into place for you. It's
Yeah,
it's Moni
I
time.
guess I have more time to think of myself. And it's not
Yeah,
selfish. It's called self-care and self-love, which
yeah,
is
for
something I
sure.
did not know how to do. But I'm slowly learning what that means to self-care and self-love. And in that self-care and self-love, I took a step to better myself. Um, I took a step to inquire about this.
Yeah, yeah. I guess so for you, I guess we'll talk about like the training, but is this going to be a step of just inquiring and sort of thinking about it still, or is this potentially the moment you actually take action and do something?
The step to inquire was what led to this call. But when you said that I was a good fit for ABC, that was me saying, yes, I want to commit to this.
Mm, mm. Well, I guess I'll talk about the training, and what that would look like. Um, let's say you do go through this training, which is around
Mhm.
about like 3 to 6 months of learning. I mean, where would you even want to see yourself 3 to 6 months from now? Like, obviously, you're going to need to be earning some money. So, how much would you even want to be seeing come in?
Well, I'm looking at your testimonials. One person made 10,000 in a week, another person made 4,000 in a week, another person made 12,000 in a week. I'm like, you know what? I want to be making 4,000 to 12,000 in a week. Um, that would be a nice goal for me.
So, anywhere from 4 to 12. So, I guess, or like averaging maybe
Just,
10K per
I mean,
month.
sky's the limit, really, Lewis. But yes, it would be nice to start off and to make my way towards a good 4 to 12,000 a week. I mean, that's great. That's a good optimistic point, and that's a good optimistic goal for me. But do I want to stay there? No, I want to, like I said, I want to make it rain. I don't want to make it drizzle. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess then could be 20K months. And
oh, that would be great.
is
So
this going to
the income
work
that I'm making
towards?
now is about, so what I'm making now is about 6,000 a month, and that
Hmm,
covers my mortgage and the bills. And so, and that's something that would be my first goal of many goals is to see if I can replace this income to begin with. Uh,
sure. Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, at the moment, like that's quite good money as well. Like working for the government, they're sort of looking after you. And like, would you say that you're living pretty comfortably with that amount at the moment?
uh, Comfortable, yeah. I mean, my income bracket's I'm part of the middle class, so I'm that's my income bracket. I'm comfortable. Um, with inflation, yeah, our dollars are being stretched pretty thin. I have siblings who are not part of the middle class, and they're really, really struggling. And again, I'm still continuing supporting many of my siblings. But comfortable, I don't- I'm. It's hard because some people might be like, "Oh no, you're just barely getting by." But because I was raised to be grateful for even the small things. The mere fact that I woke up this morning, Lewis, I'm just grateful to be alive.
Yeah,
I
me too.
saw the sunrise. I went to bed last night not knowing if I was going to wake up this morning, and I woke up this morning. So I'm just grateful to be that. So comfortable, I guess you could say I'm comfortable, but I could be struggling and tell you I'm comfortable, you know.
With that really, like that 6,000, is that, I know you want to shoot for the moon, but at the moment, is that really actually getting you towards completing the house and actually being able to do the things you want to do?
The house is already paid for. Everything is
Oh.
already done. I just have to I just got to get the contractor and get all the government paperwork through. I'm not worried about the home. Uh, so again, I've been saving for so many years. I just wish my parents were alive to see the house through, but they're not. Um, I was able to just now do it within the last 6 months, but they passed away about a year ago. Uh, So yeah, I'm not worried about the home. 6,000 is it's getting me by. It's okay. It's paying for my home. It's paying for the bills, food, and much more. Am I comfortable? Would I be able to like splurge and go on a vacation when I want to? No, no. I still gotta save just like everyone else.
Yeah.
Uh,
So really that having that extra income, like potentially 20,000 coming in per month, would make a massive difference.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm, mm. And I guess as well, like you've got your family, so this can be you can be giving back to your family with all of that. Mm,
Family is everything, Louis.
it
Sometimes
is.
it'd be breaking my back, but it's family.
So big difference would be obviously having that money coming in. But obviously first sort of need to do the steps required to get there, which is first learning.
Right. I'm not expecting to build my house in a day. It's going to take about a year. So likewise, so are my goals. It's not going to happen overnight. So it would be nice to do something like this while still working like you are. Um, and if I when I see myself in a position to where I can say, okay, goodbye job, I can move back home. You know, that's the goal. The goal is to leave the 9 to 5 with this, and the restrictions that come with it and just really be free.
Mm, mm. Yeah. So learning then, obviously these skills. I mean, what that would kind of look like, man, to get you from where you are at the moment to learning the skills, maybe earning a bit of commissions to start with, and slowly stepping away from the job. It's going to be, like I said, 3 to 6 months of training. Now, for
Okay.
you, like as a complete beginner walking into this, it's going to involve three main things, as with anything, and that's really the knowledge, exercising and training that knowledge, and then going out and finding yourself a role so you can earn commissions. Now, what are you there?
I'm
Hello.
here.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
just dropped out my
Hi.
internet.
Sorry.
It's all
I was gonna
good.
say I'm full bars here.
But I told you my Wi-Fi is not very good. So yeah, 3 to 6 months of training, and the first bit is obviously going to be the knowledge side of things. Because at the moment, you said you've got a little bit of sales experience, but you'd be walking into this as a beginner. So
Absolutely.
the way we're sort of doing this is really just laying a foundation, and we're going to be building everything else on top of this. Now, what that would look like is going through structured training, like step by step, training videos that are set up like a Netflix series. You watch Netflix, right?
I do.
Mm. So it's the same thing here, man. It's like season one, episode one is like the basics. So like goal setting, motivation, discipline, like very basic things. But then each one builds on top of the other, and then you get on to season two, and then it's like, okay, this is starting to talk about more advanced things like sales and marketing techniques. So you're learning how you talk, like your context, tonality, cadence, and then for marketing, it's going to be how to produce content and how to generate leads, and then what to do with those leads so you can actually earn money. So obviously we want to try and make some cash out of this. It's the aim of the game here. Now, for you, do you think just going through some videos would be enough to sort of get yourself a role and make 20K a month?
Uh, I don't know. Has others also followed that and saw themselves successful with just videos alone? I I teach a language course on the side with the nonprofit, and it's online, and I, I can't see my students taking one class for 12 weeks and all of a sudden they're fluent. I don't see that with just videos alone for myself here.
I mean, like, what if you've got questions watching these videos?
I'm sure I'll still have coaches along the way in my journey that I can tap and ask.
Yeah.
Is this something I'm going to be doing by myself?
No, absolutely not. So, obviously, this is the first part, just laying that foundation, like filling the knowledge gap. Then, when you've got loads of questions, when you feel like, okay, I know a bit more about this, let's learn more. This is when you're going to be training and really building up the skills. Like I said, you're building everything else on top of that foundation. The way we're going to be learning and training, or the way you will be, is by attending coaching calls with mentors. So these are guys who are professionals who have been doing this for like 5 years, 10 years. They know what they're doing. They've started from zero, built themselves up. So they know what it's like. They've been there. You can ask these guys anything you want. Mm, Not only is it just going to be like coaches, mentors there, but it's going to be done as a group. So you'll be surrounded with other people who have similar goals in mind. Polynesian people as well, like a lot of Polynesian people. And these are guys that you can ask questions as well. Give them feedback.
Nice.
They'll give you feedback. And it's really also like making some friendships as well, like bringing the community together. So let's just say like you sort of go through the training, you watch all these videos, then you jump on one of these calls. You've got the coach there and you've got everybody else with you as well. How would you be using these to your advantage?
How about be using the coaches to my advantage?
Yeah, just show like going to these group calls. How would you use them?
Oh, at this stage, I I'm just a sponge. I'm absorbing as much as I can, um, learning as much as I can. I mean, again, Louis, I teach. I'm in front of a crowd every day, um, and communication is also very important when you're trying to, in that relationship between student and teacher. And then you do this online nonprofit that I started. That's another type of presence. But even that, definitely, I know there's so much to learn. And when I come into this, I'm not coming in like, oh, I already know how to do this and that. I'm coming into, okay, I am an open book. I'll be here with notepad and paper, taking down all the notes I can and just reviewing those notes after a call or after a video or after a session. And so that's how I'm going to maximize and take advantage of the time.
Yeah, that's good. Obviously, you're a teacher, so it's going to be sort of now you're the student. Soak up as much as you
Oh,
can.
I trust me, I do not mind being a student. It feels good to be a student. Trust me.
We're all students of life. We're always learning.
Amen.
So you'll be taking notes, like asking questions, bouncing ideas around, like really getting yourself involved. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
see myself participating. If I have a question, I have no problem asking.
yeah, great, great. So this is like the sessions, the way they're set up, it's all feedback based. You're a teacher, you know how teaching works. So there's going to be a session for sales, and then there's going to be a session for marketing, and then there's also going to be a session for appointment setting as well. Sometimes as well, or like every day actually, there is a session for a group role play, which is for sales. This is where you're just
Okay.
acting out different scenarios, asking questions, and the mentor's going to give you the live feedback. So he'll stop you, pause you, and say, look, this is what you've done wrong. This is what you should say. Try again. And it's really just getting better every day, like obviously teaching people. So these coaching calls as well, you'll get 15 to 20 of these a week. Now, some days there's like a bonus session for appointment setting, but most days it's going to be three sessions. Okay. And the times for you, your,
What time zones are my coaches in?
so
Where are they from?
there's a guy called Gabe who's the sales mentor. He is in Texas. Um,
Okay.
then there's a
Good.
girl
Good.
who teaches the marketing. She is Australian. And let me just grab the times. So Pacific Standard Time. What time is it for you now? Is it
It is
11:15?
11:15. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So yeah, you're 5 hours behind. Cool. So the sales one is going to be at 5 a.m. in the morning, which is going to be quite early. So if you can't make these, they're all recorded, so you can just catch up in your own time. Um, the bonus session, which is going to be the appointment setting, this is going to be at 8 p.m. for me, so that's 3 p.m. for you. Oh, sorry.
3 p.m. I'm opening up my planner. Is this
All
something
right.
that's set in stone,
Yeah, so
or just like
these
just an example?
these are like the fixed times, and the time that they are from is Sydney. So like depending on daylight savings or whatever, it's always going to be Sydney time zone. Um, I just got that time wrong for you. Uh, so are you GMT -5? No, you're
I
-7,
am,
aren't you?
yes.
Yeah, LA. Yeah, so I got that time wrong. So to make sure these times are right, so I don't tell you the wrong ones. Do.
You can just
Yeah.
tell. You don't have to translate the times. You can just tell me where they are and the times, and I'll just automatically do it in my head.
Yeah, so they're going to be like middle of the night for you, unfortunately. So these are going to be 12 a.m. for the group role
Perfect.
play. And
Oh,
then
I'm like perfect, and you said 12 a.m. Okay. So 12 minutes.
2 a.m., then 3 a.m. Now, the bonus
Okay.
sessions for appointment setting is going to be at 12 p.m. So it'll be in the afternoon for you.
What day?
That's Monday to Friday. Now,
Every
there's
day?
also Monday to Friday, so 5 days a week, and you're going to get three a day, sometimes four.
Okay. I can take
Now,
lunch breaks during that. 12 o'clock is my lunch here, so that's good. I'll just take a lunch break and join that call.
yeah, easy. And also, like, if you're 2 hours of driving to and from, you can plug in, instead of listening to the radio or whatever, you can listen to all of the training videos so you can learn whilst you're on the road. And also catch up with the recorded sessions that you've missed. So you've
Yeah.
got no excuses here.
Oh
Also,
no, absolutely.
there is another session on a Sunday. which is going to be at 11 p.m., which is the group role play session. So what we've tried to do is really balance these times across the world for everyone.
Hmm.
I mean,
I don't mind doing the early morning session. Well, so my schedule, I wake up at 4:30 and I'm out of here by 5:15. I just shower, grab something to eat, and then leave because of the traffic. And I'm at work by 7:30.
ooh,
Uh, so if I mean, am I willing to join the 12 o'clock midnight session? Yes, Louis, I am. I'm willing to join the 12 o'clock midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning session.
it's all about the sacrifices. I have to be up at 3:30 a.m. to get on a meeting at 4. So
Yeah.
we got to do what we got to do. And
Yeah.
any questions, man? Obviously, if you can't attend those and you have to watch the replays, then reach out to people. Like reach out to myself, ask me questions, make friends in the
Okay.
community, ask them questions.
Is your prefer mode of communication WhatsApp?
So I usually use iMessage. I just got an iPhone, but WhatsApp, yeah, either or.
Okay.
So, and also like the platform
Oh,
that
you're
we
team
use,
iPhone. Hmm.
the platform that we use, it's kind of like Facebook. So you've got like a news feed on there, you've got messages, you've got notifications, and this is where like
Okay.
you go and do all the training. So you can just message people on there. Now,
Okay.
with the workshop video, there was like the three keys that were mentioned, like the appointment setting, closing, and the affiliate marketing. Which one did you see yourself picking up?
Um, can you name those three again one more time, please?
Yeah, so you've
Appointment
got
setting,
closing and then affiliate marketing or content.
oh, appointment setting, and closing. I Okay, believe you me, being in front of a Zoom class is really hard for me because I'm not photogenic like y'all, right? So I can't see myself on marketing and social media and all that. But I see myself closing in appointment setting. I think I can do great in those two.
Oh, never be afraid to post content. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's where the most money is at because you've got that
Really?
outreach. Yeah. So, I mean, for you to attract customers and actually like make the money, then this is a great way for you to get that audience and scale. So let's say you wanted to go from like just replacing your income 6K to 20K. You'd have to get into
Hmm.
the content side of things, spread the word.
Then I got to get a 20K faith. Let me go to the gym. I had this membership for over a year. I think I'm gonna start using it. I'm gonna be on social media more often.
It's up to you, man. You don't have to, but if it was something you wanted to get into, that's what we're teaching
Yeah.
as well in the marketing. It's how to grow your personal brand and how to produce the content, how to edit, all these very small things. You'd be taught and you can ask questions whenever. And there's also like
But yeah,
everyone
to
else that's
answer your
already done
question,
it.
the first two would be something I think I would excel in,
Mm.
and I can work towards a third.
This is it. That's what I done myself. That's what a lot of people do. Start off with the appointment setting, really like understand how that works, what it is, and then move on to the closing. Learn the sales skills like communication, and then after you've learned those, jump into the content and talk about your story. So that's like the typical approach. These coaching calls and going through the training, like I said, is around 3 to 6 months. Now, this is gonna like train you up to a point where you're decent enough so you can go and land yourself a role. Now, you can work with real estate, you could work with a course, a fitness program, whatever you wanted. Like there's so many different options. But if you were putting in lots of hard work, let's say, and you also wanted to work with ABC, there is potential opportunity for roles within ABC. So you could do some appointment setting for some of the affiliates, and then you could also do some closing for ABC, and you can sort of get into it that way. And it's up to you. And you have to sort of show that you're hungry for it, though. You have to work for it. It's not just given.
Hmm.
But really, what we're trying to do here is like teach the skills, sales and marketing, so you can take this and go wherever you want. It's up to you. But we'll show you where to find all of these roles and like what not to look for because there's scams out there and you got to be careful and you got to know where to look because there's like Facebook groups where there's just people asking for card details and stuff for a role. It's like that's not legit.
Mm.
So it's helping you sort of understand where to find the roles. Um, but that would pretty much be the game plan, man. I know I have just dumped a lot of information on you there, but
No, no, you're good. I'm used to it. Okay. So is there anything I need to put into my planner now? Th- th-
I did see.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm like, because I might have to be canceling some of these things and making room for them.
It's all good. I will share my screen a second. Um, can you see this?
I can.
So
Okay.
this is what we use. Like I said, bit like Facebook. So this is like your news feed and people asking for feedback, people giving feedback. You see here, mentors giving feedback on people's posts. Um, for the content stuff, let's say you like to get into that after you've done appointment setting and closing. The way you're learning there is content analysis. So you're just getting feedback on what you're posting and how to improve. Um, up here, this is like the training portal. So this is where you're going to go and learn everything. So let's say you want to go and learn the sales.
Hmm.
This is all of the sort of information that you're going to be learning to start with, laying that foundation. You also get a load of recorded sales calls, such as like a $25,000 real estate deal where somebody closed that themselves. So you really understand what it is you're talking about. So all of the basic stuff, and then how it's implemented into practice and how it works. With regard to your schedule, this is where all of the meetings are. So you'll
So
find all of that.
am I to attend every single one of those meetings?
Look, the more you attend, the better. Okay, it's really
Okay.
just a pace and a time frame thing. If you can attend every single one, sure. If you
Okay.
can't, mate, it's not the end of the world. There's no deadlines, there's no
But
strict
but there are
rules.
recordings of them.
Yes, so I will go to here. All of the like this is back in June.
Mm,
So if you ever get bored,
nice.
and these are all like an hour long, so
Hmm.
there's days and days worth of information there
Yeah.
where you can sit down in your car and listen along. So that's pretty much like the platform that we use there. Obviously, this is for scheduling things and the times. Um, but yeah, I mean that the training and everything, is that something that you can see yourself going through?
Yes.
Hmm. And I know you said you're going to sort of show up to these calls, even the late ones. You're willing to make that sacrifice, which is good. Um, but do you feel like any of this may not work out for you? Like maybe there's something missing that you might need help with?
As far as content,
Anything. Like, do you feel like there's a few things that may be missing you need extra help with?
Not at the moment. I mean, I don't even know specifically what the content is as far as the commitment to commitment to the time. Um, I do not mind making that commitment and that sacrifice. I will, if it's like at 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't mind staying up for those calls. Um, and just to get a feel for it. And again, I'll come prepared with notepad and paper, even at 2 a.m. in the morning, to learn as much as I can.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good to hear. It's nice to see someone who's eager and willing to do the sacrificing. So that's the biggest thing is showing up and being committed. So I guess how many sort of hours per day do you think you may be able to put towards this? I know you're driving a lot, so it's going to be a few.
Uh, this is what's going to be plugged into my Bluetooth in my car when I'm in traffic every morning and every evening. Definitely. And then also showing up to these meetings. Are all the meetings around 12 midnight, 1 o'clock? The 12 o'clock noon, I can definitely make that call. I'll just, do I have to be on camera for that?
It is like just show your camera, mics on, because I guess it's like being in the
Okay.
classroom.
Well,
Don't be
because
shy.
it's lunchtime, so I might be eating. I might be eating during the call, but yeah, I don't mind showing up for that one.
That's absolutely fine. If you're at work or whatever, just pop in the chat. It'll be on Zoom, so just pop in the chat.
Okay.
Um, hey Gabe, I'm just at work, or just let them know, and it's absolutely fine. There's no sort
Okay.
of no pressure here to do anything you don't want to do, or
Yeah.
we
So I
understand.
see myself definitely putting in a few hours every day. Uh,
Yeah.
if it,
Mm,
and that includes listening to all the training videos and
mm,
yeah.
mm. And do you sort of see it as a way to actually step away from what you're doing and like be able to work remotely and still earn an income?
Uh, yes. Yes. I mean, is most of the business done here in America, or is this also including, potential clientele around the world, like Australia, New Zealand?
Yeah, so most of the demographic is really like 18 plus, and we're reaching people out in New Zealand, Australia. It's mostly Australians and New Zealand, but New Zealanders.
Okay.
A lot of Islanders.
Well, then definitely I see myself doing well because I definitely see myself. I don't know if it's a stepping away at first, but if this is like something at nighttime, I can definitely do it nighttime, my time, evening time, my time.
Yeah,
Um, but the goal is to, yes, step away a little bit, and to do this
yeah.
full time. Yeah.
And really, just from like what I've heard from you, what your like real like the big goals are, what the dream is, helping people out on. I kind of feel like you'd be using these skills as a stepping stone and to help you really pursue what you actually want to pursue. Would I be wrong or right in saying that?
No, you're absolutely right.
Hmm. So yeah, I guess it's not just a 6 month down the line thing, potentially earning 6,000. It's really like take the skills with you after and use them to your advantage so you can actually reach the people that you need to.
Hmm.
Well, I guess if that's something you can see yourself doing, I mean, is it something that you'd want?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And for you to actually do the things that you do want to do and be able to travel or whatever, provide a bit more for your family. Um, do you feel like you need this to help you get there?
In the whole scheme of things, would this help me get there? Yes, it would. Um, Again, all I had were options and backup plans, right? Um, but do I see myself if this is the remedy and the template and the roadmap to be like those many that I heard on their videos, then absolutely this is the way I want to go.
Mm, very good. And again, you're no different to anyone else jumping into this, man. Like we're all, you probably got an advantage because you're an academic. Most of the guys and girls in here are like tradies,
This is what I mean.
warehousing.
This is what I mean. It's that perception of, oh, because he's in academia, he's all written out. But again, I'm coming in with an open book to absorb what I can as much as I can. I'm coming in as a student.
Yeah, I'm saying
And
you've got
even
that
if it's skill
advantage.
sets that, even if it's a skill set that I already know, then I'll just look at it as a refresher.
Yeah. I would say the stuff that you'll be learning here, maybe you've learned some communication skills with teaching, but really the marketing and the sales online is going to be something completely new to you. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Never know.
I
I
want
might be one of the mentors in the coming year or so.
there is sort of what's the word, vacancy, I guess, because we are growing. ABC is getting larger in
Hmm.
numbers. There's 630 members at the moment
Wow.
all
That's
across the
awesome.
world, and we're growing. And the goal is to create 1,000 millionaires. That's the goal.
Sign me up, Lewis.
Well, man, I guess like with this does come investment. Obviously, this is a mentorship, there's training involved,
Yes.
and there's a lot of coaching. You got 15, 20 coaching calls per week. So for
Hmm.
you to get access to this, it is just a one-time investment. For yearly access, that investment is 6,000 US dollars. And this is going to teach you the skills that you need so you can actually reach your goals a little bit quicker.
Are you waiting for a reaction or oh,
Uh,
what
Where
happened?
would where would you like to go, man? Is this if it's something you want, it's the opportunity's there for you.
Definitely. Yes.
Cool. Okay, well I can walk you through the onboarding process and that would take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What that would
Okay.
kind of look like would be just writing up a post introducing you to everyone on school, introducing you to the mentors. They'll reach out to you. And yeah, just showing you where to start, where to sort of start going with the training. So
Okay.
I mean, we can set up the payment. We can do that like via card if that would be the easiest way for you.
Is this a one-time payment or is there like a payment plan or are there any
So
options?
so it's just a one-time payment. You don't have to pay for any ads or anything like that. It's just the one-time investment and that's it. And that would be for 1 year.
Okay. When he joined, did he pay the 6,000 up front?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm not
Mm,
sure what the crack was with him.
mm,
For some people, like we are able to work things out, but it really
hmm.
depends on who you are and what your circumstances. So I mean, at the moment, like where would you say you're at financially?
Like I can do 2 grand in the coming days, and maybe do the rest 2 weeks later. Uh, so I could do like 2 grand on Monday and then 4 grand 2 weeks after that.
Okay, so what day are we on now? Tuesday. So in 6 days' time.
Uh, Monday, what day is it today? Oh, today's Tuesday. Yeah, Monday.
Hmm. Okay, so you'd be happy to and
Lewis,
comfortable.
I'm serious. I want to do this.
That's good, man. It's we've been talking for an hour and 45, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most interesting call I've taken.
Damn. I'm just joking.
And I've spoken to a variety of people. I've had some funny characters, but I mean, your story, I really like it. It's very interesting. I like it. I want to
Thank
be a
you.
part of
I
it.
No, that means a lot to me. Thank you, Lewis. That means a great deal. Um, I hope in this conversation that you've seen that I've taken a lot of steps meticulously or because of certain purposes. And I don't say I want to do something out of the blue. When I say I want to do something, I mean it. So I know I can't do the 6 grand now, but I definitely, and I don't want you to think, oh, well, you know, if we let him go, he's not going to come back because that's a lot of money. But I definitely, this is what I want to do. Uh, and if that means I have to wait 2 weeks, then I'm going to wait 2 weeks. I'm not going anywhere. So I guess I'm committing to you that you will see me definitely paying this off within the next 2 weeks.
That's good, man. And there's like no real pressure here. Like if you wanted to get started right away, like we can do that, and then we can just work the rest
I
out.
I I I prefer that because I was like, does that mean I can't do nothing until 2 weeks, or can I at least get the ball rolling? For now. Mm.
This is it. Want you to get stuck in with the learning, not have to worry about the money side of things. But is that something that you would be comfortable investing in? Like it's not going to put you out of pocket. You won't be able to food on the table or anything like that.
Uh, no, it's not gonna. I mean, I only make 6,000 in a month, right? But like I said, the house and everything, all that, all my savings went to that. So no, it's not gonna. I mean, maybe it might help me. Maybe I could eat a little less. It's not gonna make a dent in my refrigerator. That's something I can do it.
Yeah. But the last thing that I'd want to do is put you in a position where you're struggling or stressing out about things. That's the
Trust
last I
me,
want to do.
if it's scarcity of food, that might be doing me a big service. But no, it's not gonna turn off my lights, or
Yeah,
get me evicted in my house.
good.
If you're ever in California, by the way, you're more than welcome to stay here. I live by myself. Maybe I should sell this home. I'm just joking.
You got the world ahead of you. You could be doing this in a year's time. You could be selling the home.
You know, or I just might give it to one of my siblings. We'll see.
Very, very charitable.
This is
Very kind.
this is huh?
Very, very kind of you.
Uh, Family over everything. Hmm. Do you have family?
I do, yeah. I just came back from Australia to see my family in England. Living at home here
Nice.
with mum and my sister here, and
How is mom?
yeah, great. Obviously, she missed me for well the 12 months that I was gone, so she's glad to see me back.
Wow, it's been 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months. So I come back a completely different person.
Do you have kids?
I don't know. I'm still way too young for that. Maybe in
Wait, how old are you?
22.
Oh my gosh. Wow, you are very, very young.
Mm.
I'm really proud of you. I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you. It's good to hear that from someone. How old did you say you were?
I'm 30, I turned 38.
Yeah, I still think I'm talking to someone similar to like my own age, just a few years older.
Damn, if anyone, if feeling old was a person, you just did it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to make you feel old.
I'm joking. I'm a millennial. I'm proud of it.
Really? Like,
Of being a millennial? Yes.
hmm. I think I'm on the last few years before all of they just started turning weird.
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. It was my generation that came up with these damn pronouns. I, the he, him, her, she, they, them. I think I don't even. I still struggle with those.
I
Uh,
don't get it. I don't understand.
yeah. Anywho,
But
mm,
yeah. So this genuinely is like something that you do want to do. Um, would you want
yes.
to get started like right now?
Um, 11:45. I can. I can't. Do you know how much time we're gonna allot for this?
Um, 5, 10 minutes. So what I will do is
Let's do it.
I'll send you an email, and on there is going to be like a just an agreement saying you're not going to leak any of the information or whatever. Have a read through that.
Okay.
Um, duh, 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 duh. And then you can create an account for school as well from that same email. Duh, 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 duh. And what would be the best way for the payment? Would it be via card?
Yes. It would be via card.
Cool. Just and your email, is it Jamone Pili? Did I say that right? Jamone?
Jamon.
Jamon.
Yeah. Jamon. Or you can say Jamon.
Butchering it. I hate butchering pronunciation.
It's okay. It's not even Samoan. Only,
It sounds French.
yeah, because my great grandfather was French.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was half French, half Scottish.
Wow. Half French, half Scottish. I know, so my grandparents, well, my grandfather from my mum's side is from Guernsey, and that's one of the islands in between England and France.
Mm.
And that was one of the last islands.
Is that by Wales?
No, so it's the other side. It's in between
Mm.
Cornwall or like the south and France. Yeah, they were on the last boat from Guernsey to England
To
before the
England.
Nazis
Wow.
invaded,
Mm.
which is crazy. I'm not sure why, but I can't get this email to send. Gmail.com. There we go. So that should be in your inbox anytime soon. Yeah, it's sent. And whilst you're doing that, and today, did you say you'd be able to do 2,000?
No, no, no. Monday. And then 2 weeks later, the rest of the four.
Oh, okay, Monday. I mean, for today, are you able to? Have you got access to anything to get onboarded?
Not at the moment.
Okay,
Not at the
that's
moment.
that's fine. Well, we can get the ball rolling anyway. Obviously, I've sent you the email there, and you
If you
can.
want, we can do Monday if that makes you more comfortable. I definitely. can make myself available on Monday.
Okay, well, let me just look at my schedule. Um,
And I'll look at mine.
Let me know what time you're free, and it will be later on in the day for me, so I'll make myself available.
When are you free?
From the hours of 5 a.m. till the hour of around about 7 p.m.
And what GTZ are you?
I am zero, so Greenwich Mean Time, London time, 7 hours ahead.
And when is your availability?
So from the hours of 7 a.m. till 7 p.m., let's say.
So my Monday is your Tuesday. Would 12 midnight be okay?
12 midnight. Monday night?
My time, which is 7 a.m. your time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
So
we'll shoot for 12 a.m.
and just to confirm, that's Monday night, Tuesday morning, midnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll put that in my calendar as well.
I will just quickly. I'll do the same thing with Calendly. I'll just send an invite again, and then you can accept the invitation that will go on your calendar.
Okay.
Um, are you Pacific Daylight Time at the moment?
I am. What do you mean?
So do you have daylight savings in LA?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and is that at
hmm
the moment?
Uh, I don't know. Hold on. Are we in Pacific Daylight Time? Oh, did that in the wrong. I did that in my email. Are we in Pacific Daylight Time?
According to UTC time, Pacific region of the US includes the states of
That still
California.
did not even answer my question. Sorry, that's Android for you. But I left Team iPhone in 2015 and I never went back.
I've only ever had iPhone. Well, I had a
Is
Sony
California
Xperia once, but
Pacific Daylight Saving Time? You had a what?
According to time and date, California uses Pacific Standard Time during Standard Time and Pacific Daylight Time during Daylight Saving Time.
So we are in Pacific Daylight Time at the moment. Yes, we
cool.
are.
Just making sure because sometimes the booking, like the time zones, are wrong.
hmm
Um, so Monday, that's going to be Monday the 4th at 7 a.m. And you're going to go enjoy the rest of your day, see your parents.
Yes, I'm gonna go to the cemetery. I gotta go stop and grab some flowers, and
Nice.
then I go see my dad. So when I say parents, I'm talking about my grandparents, but they
Yeah,
raised
yeah,
me.
yeah.
So really, my parents are like my siblings, but I still call them mom and dad. Um, so and then I go see my dad after that and visit
Mm.
him. I drop off some food, look at his bills, and get him squared away.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, for me, it's 7 p.m. nearly. Um, so I'll be
Oh, enjoy your
knocking off to
night.
enjoy my night. It's the end of my night. I've got to go sleep and be up at 3:30.
Wow. Hmm. Do
So
you drink?
alcohol or water or coffee.
Um, usually when that question is given, it's only concerning alcohol because water is a given, right? Do you drink alcohol?
I do, occasionally. Not too much.
Hmm. I only drink like during really big occasions like siblings' birthdays and
Hmm.
other than that, and I drink usually only with family because I'm very not tolerant. And so I make sure I drink with people who will look out for me. And I'm not a crazy drunk or a fighting drunk. I'm just a really happy one.
Me too. Stupid. Silly.
Not, no, I'm not stupid drunk. I'm just happy. Mhm.
Fair enough, man.
Well, then
Well,
get some rest and Lewis.
yeah, I will do. I need it. I'll be up bright and early. Early bird gets the worm.
That's
Well,
right.
I guess that's us. It was awesome to meet you, man. I really sort of get to know you.
Thank you. And I will look forward to our call on Monday.
Yeah, all right, man. Well, I'll see you on Monday and enjoy the rest of your week and have a brilliant weekend as well.
Lava. Thank you.
What does that mean?
Lava is thank you.
Oh, after liver. Cool. I have
Hey,
to
that was
start learning,
perfect.
picking it up slowly, slowly but surely. I've heard other things like
And then
my uso.
Uso is brother.
Yeah,
Toko is Tongan for brother.
yeah, Toko.
Yeah. So Lava is thank you in Samoan. Malo Alpito is thank you in Tongan.
Okay, so if I say thank you, brother, would it be Faftai lover, my Toko,
Uso.
my uso?
Uso Samoan. Hmm.
Mm.
So
Ah,
Lava Uso or Malo Alpito Toko in Tongan. Yeah.
cool.
I speak Tongan, I speak Samoan, I speak Hawaiian, I speak Te Reo Maori from New Zealand, um, and I speak Tokelau. So five of the oceanic languages is what I grew up with.
Learn some.
Yeah. But be safe, my friend.
Yeah,
Hasta lava.
you too, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you.
Take care.
See you, bro.